Cool. We're live.
Hey, Keri.
Hey, Heather. How's it going?
All right. How are you?
Well, I'm doing okay, actually. It's been a heck of a day.
Yeah. What's going on?
So, yeah, just to let you know, I may have to bug out of here at some point with not much notice. We're having some medical issues with a dear loved one of ours, and it's the reason that I wasn't here a couple weeks ago. Is that we're transitioning my mother-in-law into a boarding care facility, and we just found out today that she is not doing so well, and we may have to make some changes for her. And that's where my husband is right now, and I've been doing some telephone advocating and making some calls to doctors and nurses and checking in on her. And so I'm kind of waiting to hear from him. So I may get a phone call that I may have to, take at some point. And it's real life. I mean, this is what you get.
Yeah.
Real life stuff going on. So she's in good hands, and we feel pretty well educated on, what our different options are for her. We just have to, make some choices and do it. We just have to do, which is always hard, but that's what we're doing today. So
yeah, it's all of those decisions. And I know we were just talking right before we came online about, being advocates, and it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of people have multiple doctors taking care of them too.
Yep.
Multiple insurance.
Yep.
Especially for seniors, because there's Medi, and there's, the private part, and maybe affordable care. I mean,
I'll tell you, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot in the last couple of weeks about healthcare for seniors and long-term care for seniors, and Medicare and Medi-Cal and LA Works and Kaiser and boarding care facilities and nursing facilities. And hey, that's my phone ringing.
I'm removing Keri from the stream. I can still see her. She's in the green room. So I'll take her off so that she can talk freely, and I'll talk. So one of the things I was thinking we might talk about today is there's been a lot of announcements of closures of businesses. We got some a few weeks ago. The Federal Bar downtown Long Beach is going to close. Rock Bottom Brewery. And then this week, I feel like yesterday or something, we got like 3 notices in the Long Beach food scene Facebook page. So if I miss one, feel free to comment and let me know. But I remember that EJ Malloy's over by Lazy Acres is closing. And, they used to have 3 EJ Malloy's, and now they're only going to have 1. So that's not great. Chuck E. Cheese. It's not my thing, but I mean, it serves it has a place for kids' parties and things like that. Along those lines, Boomers, mini golf, and all that stuff off the 405 in Fountain Valley, formerly Bullwinkle's and formerly, it's someplace I went with my high school boyfriend. It was a place like, well, that's what you do when you're teenagers. You go mini golf. I don't know, how is mini golf a sustainable operation right now if you can't, even if you figure out a way to let people go through, if you can't maximize and get the high number of people rotating through there, how do you keep going? And who else? Chuck E. Cheese, Boomers, EJ Malloy's, someone else. I said Chuck E. Cheese. Who else is closing?
Oh, you're talking about the permanent closures that we've been having in the city?
Yeah. In the surrounding areas in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a friend of mine's tattoo shop had to close up. They're up in Seattle, but it's a direct result of, COVID and, the lockdowns and all that stuff. And yeah, I've definitely seen a few shops that have had to close up. It's such a bummer. I mean, let's see, you mentioned Chuck E. Cheese, and I think the buffet industry, did you talk about this? I think the buffet industry.
We talked about that, man, RIP salad bars.
Cheese, right? I love salad bars. I'm
I
so
mean, like I
much.
was thinking the other night, I think yesterday, I was really wanting a salad, and like I live a block from a Ralph's that had a salad bar. And
Right?
it was, I thought, well, there's no way except for a restaurant to get like a salad that has a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones at the store are okay. Trader Joe's probably has like the best packaged salads, but the
Yeah.
ones from the restaurants, deservedly so, are high price, and it's not cheap to buy all the ingredients to do like a Cobb salad or something.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
um, whatever. It's just one of those things. Rob says Malia's heart is broken over Chuck E. Cheese, but
Oh.
Rob did something really cool. He
Of
went
course,
over
Rob
there.
did something cool.
Yeah, he saw that they were taking the sign down. He went over there and he gave his daughter $20 and said, "Go ask if you can have the Chuck E. Cheese head." And they gave it to her.
Yes, Rob, dude, you are the man. That is so awesome.
I don't know how big it is, Rob. Comment how big the Chuck E. Cheese head is, because is it like this? Is it 5 feet?
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to hear how big that thing is. It probably doesn't matter. He's probably like, oh, we had to move the couch out of the living room so it'll fit. But yeah, nothing matters. Does not matter.
Yeah. One of the things that one of my friends shared with me early on is that someone had done an editorial about how businesses might close. And it could be after they close that we either gain more cultural, like indie mom and pop businesses, or it could be a shift into more corporate slash, big chain out of local area companies come in. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's it's a super valid concern. I mean, there's definitely, oh, look, Rob said it takes up my whole studio. I believe it. Yeah, I think there's a valid concern about, big box stores taking over all these, bigger areas that things like Chuck E. Cheese, were in. But didn't Chuck E. Cheese, I think I read somewhere that the location that Chuck E. Cheese is in right now used to be 3 separate restaurants. So they just went in and knocked the walls down, right? Do you know that?
No, it was Hometown Buffet.
But I mean, before it was Hometown Buffet, it was, no? Okay, maybe it was something else. I don't know. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a really good opportunity for, smaller businesses to come in and get a storefront, right? Like,
well, this is the thing, right? When prices go down, it becomes more attainable for people that don't have as much, funding to get in, as long as landlords are open to it.
Yeah, for sure. As long as landlords are open to it. And I think that there's definitely an opportunity, for small businesses to go ahead and, take the leap and get into a brick and mortar. I was we recently moved out of our industrial space in Santa Ana, and I was talking to my landlord over there just a few days ago, and she said she's the busiest that she's ever been. And so all of her empty spaces are leasing out, and people are leasing up, right? So they're moving into bigger spaces, I guess, in anticipation of business coming back. I mean, my personal business is starting to take off again. We're getting orders because retail locations are starting to open up again, and people need to stock up those shelves. And so I'm making candles. I bought myself a big old melter, and I'm ready to go. I just got a big shipment of supplies today. I'm like, oh, I get to make candles again. I'm so excited.
Yeah. I mean, as much as we're getting announcements of closures, we're getting announcements of openings.
Yes, we are. Well, and yeah. I mean, and of course we have to be careful of that because we've also seen a spike in cases, in hospitalizations and new cases of COVID in states like Arizona and Texas, where they started opening, a couple of weeks ago. And so that's a legit fear and a legit concern. I feel like, everybody's doing the best they can to be, to put up those plastic barriers and have, the tags on the floor that indicate where people need to stand in order to maintain social distancing. And we're all wearing masks, right, Heather? I'm just kidding. We're all wearing masks. I got a bucket of masks over here, that I like sift through every day. Like, which one am I going to wear today?
It's the new tattoo. It's like, it can be like what you want to say.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and there's like, the ones that are comfortable. Although I will just say people who are wearing them under their nose can just.
I saw a great meme that said, people who wear their masks wrong is a great indication of why contraception fails. I mean, yeah. Like, why are you wearing it here?
I'm not a mouth breather. All that, when I'm walking around the store, it's all coming out of my nose.
Droplets, people, droplets. They come out a lot of places. I mean, they don't, but your nose and your mouth for sure. Cover that shit up. What's the problem?
But, I'm not feeling anxious like we were in the beginning either. I don't have as much anxiety because, there are people that are working in the stores, and I've been to stores, and I just use the science that they give us to keep myself safe.
Stay practical and stay positive.
I'm not making out with anyone, I'm not like,
don't lick
my face. I'm not.
No face licking. I wonder if anyone who's watching us chat away and drink and laugh and pontificate about things is, I'm sure there's a lot of different takes on all of this. There's definitely people who are hesitant to leave their house and hesitant to go to the store. And I respect all of that. I respect all of it. Believe me, I believe that everyone's entitled to different levels of concern, and you get to express that however you want. I've been to Target. I'm not going to lie. I went to Target.
I went today, Keri, for the first time since a curbside pickup in March.
Oh my gosh.
And I maxed out my Target card with one shopping trip. Sure. I don't have an exorbitant, limit.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I'll take that, and I'll take this, and I need a new pan, and I need some new curtains, and I need the $20 version of this and 3 of that. And yes. But it was interesting also, they're kind of light on a lot of things.
Yeah.
It says, I'll bring it on. He says he's in San Antonio, Texas. And to my surprise, they aren't as wide open as news says they are.
San Antonio.
Here. But, it's still up to the business. That is happening here too. We got the announcement. And I still haven't seen. It's like here and there that different places are open.
Everybody gets to make. Every business owner gets to make their own choice because which is great. And you have to respect that some of your employees might not be super excited to come back just yet, and
you might not be comfortable, or you might be having a hard time getting the supplies needed, or
It's interesting to Damon's point. I have family that's in Frisco, Texas, and Frisco has a very small amount of cases, small amount of reported cases of COVID. It's a really small area, but Dallas, so Frisco has they're open, and they've been open for a while, and they haven't seen a spike, and they're doing really well over in Frisco. But in Dallas, everything. I don't know if everything, that's a strong word, but a lot is open in Dallas. And from what I've been seeing on certain news channels, they've also seen an increase in cases. And so I just think it makes us all think we need to be cautiously optimistic, right? That's a phrase. Yeah. We just need to be cautious. And that goes without saying, wash your fucking hands and put a mask on,
Sorry, Mom.
There we go. Not safe for work. Welcome to the podcast.
Dana Buchanan posted a good list of what to do if you're going to go to a restaurant.
Yes.
Don't loiter, eat and go. It's fine to sit a little while, but they need to turn those tables. They need to make money. You can't sit there. You're going to order a meal every 20 minutes or something. So an hour. 45 minutes, an hour, max yourself out.
And think ahead. If you want water, ask, get ready. When the waitress comes, ask her for everything, right? I would like water and 2 glasses of wine and salt and pepper. And I'm going to need ketchup for whatever I order. And don't be that person that's I want this on the side and bring this here and do this. And just Be cool.
Oh no, I have one friend that is always like this. I won't say who it is, but anytime the waitress comes over, she's like, I know what I want, and she's ready.
Yeah.
And it's like the list. I'd like this, I'd like that. And it's, it's, and I'm always prepared. It's like the breakfast restaurant thing. Like I'll tell them what I want, which kind of potatoes and which kind of toast, but it never fails that they ask me those questions.
Sure.
It's like being prepared throws them off.
Because they're not used to it, because
they're tabulating, they're writing it or whatever, but they're like, you need to go at their pace too. So there is a little bit of that. Like,
have you ever been a waitress, Heather?
Oh yeah.
So and you understand. And that's, I think that, those of us have been in the service industry before kind of have that respect. Like I see how many tables you have, and I see, Karen over there who's like, and I would like ranch on the side,
Karen.
And I want my bacon extra crispy, and like all that stuff. And so, I think when you're in the service industry, you have, you just have a heightened awareness.
You meet a lot of Karens.
You meet a lot of Karens. Yeah.
Have you ever been a Karen?
Probably, but it's not intentional. I mean, I think we all
lost your shit on like a customer service call where you're like calling because they fuck something up, or you think they fuck something up, or I had this experience recently I had two interesting experiences at Home Depot pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
One was that this woman was talking to the customer, and I was getting like anxious, like, Jesus Christ, move, come on.
Let's do this. Come on. Yeah.
And then when I got up there, she talked to me, and I was like, you know what? It's nice talking to people. Heather, calm your teas. Like, it's not a big, I appreciate and that's part of the thing with going to the doctor too, when you're in the room waiting.
Yeah.
And it's taking forever, and you can hear them in the room next door, and you're like, ugh.
Wrap it up.
But bringing this back to healthcare, if I want to ask that doctor questions, I want his time. He's not going to be like, I got to go, sister. No,
Yeah.
We're going to stay here. I had a really long doctor appointment last Friday, and I was like, I don't want to hold you up, but what do you think about this?
I am totally the one to show up at doctor's appointments with a list of questions, because you only go in for your physical once a year.
Keri, I was thinking about voice recording it, because it's like going to the auto mechanic, and I know they explain it to me sometimes, and then I come home and I'm like, try to tell Mike, and I'm like, huh?
Right. Yeah.
I think he said this.
I'm not sure. He gave me this pamphlet, but I don't know why. Well, I think, yeah. But I've gone to physical therapy appointments, and I've had her take pictures of the exercises that she's showing me, because I know 10 minutes after I get home, I'm going to be like, wait, was it this way or that way or what way? So yeah, pictures for sure. And I will say this, to circle around to customer service, I was on the phone with a customer service representative from AT&T just this very morning. And she was lovely, and she was helpful, and I was not expecting it to be as easy as it was. And I was like, hey, thanks so much for all of your help. I really appreciated you getting me through this. And it floored her. She was like, oh my God, girl, thank you so much. And I was like, oh yeah, no problem. I really appreciate it. She's like, you have no idea. I've been on the phone with 100 people today, and no one has said thank you. And I was like, what? How do you not? If someone I've even apologized after going off on someone who was an idiot, and it was their fault. And I went off on them and probably said the F word several times, and then apologized to them because I lost my own temper and I felt bad. And then they were like, I really appreciate that. No one's ever apologized. And I'm like, well, people need to be better. That's
so one of the times I lost my shit at Home Depot, instead of gained some perspective, was that I was using the company card, and she asked for the ID, and I was like, well, it's company cards. She's like, well, we can't really. And I said, but I'm here practically every day. And she was giving me flack, and I threw did a little tantrum and went over to self-checkout. And I was like, I'll just do fucking self-checkout and it'll work. And I think I said that. I was all, well, fine. Then I'll just fucking go use self-checkout, and thank you. If you want to keep your job, maybe you should try to help me. But
Right?
I know she's just doing what she's been told. Speaking of doing what you've been told,
Yes.
we have a guest. So I invited one of my friends to meet us for a drink. I'm going to bring her on right now. Let's meet Laura Marin.
Nice.
Hey, Laura.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing today, ladies?
Good.
Well, thank you for having me.
Sure, Laura. Hey, I'm Keri.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
yeah,
we can hear you. Yes. Oh, it may have paused.
Can you hear us?
Technical difficulties.
Laura?
Hello? Yeah, it just paused, like you guys were just frozen for a minute.
No worries. No worries.
Hi, both Heather and Keri. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Super excited, to be able to be on this show and talk. And we're definitely some Wonder Women. So, we got a lot to share, right?
Look at that, Wonder Woman.
Wonder Women.
Oh,
I have we
so
can do
awesome.
it.
So
yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
Very cool. Well, Laura, it's really nice to meet you. I'm really excited to hear all about all the cool stuff that you're doing. And so, Heather. How do you and Heather know each other?
It was 2013. We went through a program called the Neighborhood Leadership Program, which is different from Long Beach Leadership, which I know she went through as well. This is more of a community thing. It's free. You get to learn more about your community, how to put on community events, even how to write up. Oh my gosh, Heather, help me. Basically writing grants. You learn how to write them, which is super awesome. I know that you guys have paused for some reason, but I'm going to continue to talk until you guys come back. So and we did a lot. Were you with me with Pets Are People Too, or which okay, so at the end of the 6-month program, which is really intense, it's really intensive. You have to work with a certain amount of people, and then you put on a community project. Mine was Pets Are People Too, and it was right on the corner of Anaheim, a few blocks. It was a burger joint.
It was Dan's Burgers.
Yeah, exactly.
7th and Orange or Walnut.
Around there, absolutely.
Yeah, we all did our projects that same neighborhood. We did a tree planting. You guys did a pet.
Yeah, and it was awesome. So that's how we connected. And because I do what I do with my show, which I'll talk about, I'm able to stay connected with people that went through that program as well. So that's how we met.
Yeah,
nice.
Super fun, and it's free.
Right now, I can't hear you. It keeps pausing for some reason or freezing. So I will just have a drink waiting for you, ladies.
Perfect. Drinks are good. Drinks are always the best way to pass the time.
Absolutely. So, what you ladies want to talk about?
Well, Laura, before we get into your project, why don't you tell us, look, there's a lot of shit happening in the last week or two, and then a lot of shit happening for 3 months. What's your take on everything?
Well, I think I'll just jump into it real quick. Because so much is happening, especially during this time of COVID. I, as a filmmaker and documentary filmmaker and a show producer, I just wanted to be able to talk about what is happening, since there's so much. There's COVID, there's the protesting with Black Lives Matter and people of communities of color. I don't know if I have you guys.
We're still here.
We're still here. Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't had a space shuttle launch, I believe, since 2011. That happened. Every day is something different. For me, what I have to do, I feel you have to take care of yourself in order to be better for others. So, I had a corporate job that I got laid off from due to COVID. And for me, I have to be able to think, okay, I'm still working because I'm still working on my show again, which we'll talk about soon. And I have to meditate, I have to work out. And yeah, have some drinks, have some Zoom meetings. I'm sure you guys have had many Zoom happy hours, and that's why you came up with this concept. So, again, it's just learning how to breathe, if you're an activist, you're going out, take care of yourself. And that's pretty much what I've been doing during this time. I've seen you, Heather, out there. Keri, you're new to me. So, I mean, what are some of the things that you've been doing?
Gosh, so I am a small business owner, and we have been in the process of transitioning out of the rental space that we're in and back into our home. And we've also been dealing with some medical issues with a family member of mine, which I was talking about a little bit earlier in the show. And so I'm sorry if I'm distracted. I'm getting some text updates from my husband about my mother-in-law right now. She's doing okay. But we've got a lot of that going on too. But gosh, I hear what you're saying about trying to take care of yourself and how important that is with regard to, the healthcare issue in our family. If I'm not on the ball, then I can't help the other people in my family, right? So it's been important for me to stay informed and to not get, distracted or riled up or whatever, but to stay focused and having conversations with friends. I'm sorry, I'm pointing. I'm very handsy. I'm like and Wonder Woman over here and Wonder Woman up there. So sorry about that. I'm
Laura, Keri,
No, that's
Keri
right.
Keri went to protest.
Yeah, I hear you. I know that you froze, so I'm going to continue. I don't know if I froze for you, but I hear what you're saying about what you've been going through with your family and COVID. I actually have had 7 family members with COVID. One just came out of the hospital who was in the ICU. My uncle, one of my cousins passed away 3 weeks ago due to COVID. And then my sister, who's a LVN, her and her husband had it. And it's pretty traumatic experience. And that's why I heard you guys talking about the mask and how to wear it. Honestly, for having a show and trying to be out there talking about Long Beach, it's really hard for me because I do have older parents that I need to see. I have had these family members that have gone through it. And it's extremely to talk about as well, right?
Yeah.
But so we have to do our part. Wear your freaking mask. Yeah, I see people like this. I just went to the store today, and then it's like this, and I have to tell people, and they get upset. I'm like, hey, can you like excuse me about 6 feet away? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I know. I actually have to tell them. I mean, I don't know, Heather, have you experienced that where you have to tell someone, hey, you know what, you have to stay 6 feet away from me? I mean, it's a interesting and awkward experience, but definitely it's something that we have to do, right?
I have been trying to just make the move myself rather than be confrontational because, gosh, I just don't want to have any hostility or problems. I do find myself wanting to say hey, just so you know, if it's not over your nose, it's not working. I don't know. If you know.
I have no problem.
I'm surprised that people still have such a hard time. You see people all over, wearing your mask correctly. I don't understand where it's you don't have options. This isn't an optional. This isn't a necklace where I'm going to wear a low chain or a choker or mid chain. No, put the mask on, cover your nose, just droplets, cover them. Simple. Yeah,
exactly. And again, it's because of what I've gone through with my family, and I live by myself, so it's a lot easier. But then I have to be more cautious with my parents who are older, and I don't want them to be compromised. So that's something that's why I don't have a problem saying that. And the reason I was saying it, I posed that question to you, Heather, is because I actually had to do that this morning at the grocery store. People don't even pay attention to the floor on the signs the signs on the floor that you guys were talking about earlier. They don't.
Right.
And but I mean,
it's interesting. This last week I was at the grocery store and they had kind of taken away some of their floor graphics or something. And I knew I could measure the distance and I could go closer, but the person before me kind of waited till the other person checked out. So I waited till they got closer, and then the guy behind me was like, it's only 6 feet. And I was like, seriously, is it okay if I'm just giving extra feet?
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, this is our new normal for right now, right?
Yeah.
if you want to be a part of this society as it is now, you have to succumb to a few things.
Yeah.
I don't mind the mask. I mean, like Heather, you were talking about, enjoy it, have fun, like on my personal Facebook. And I feel like we're kindred spirits now, Keri, because I have Wonder Woman of the Day. And I do Wonder Woman of the Day. And I think about, okay, like how can I be a better person? Because you have to think about when you're going out, you have to be tactical about it now, not as much as before, but I feel like you still have to be tactical and come home, clean your groceries and all that. I feel like we're whoa.
Sorry. I'm on 4th Street. There's a lot of noise.
I feel like we're turning into a society of where we always constantly are cleaning, and we need that bacteria as well. So you have to have a balance, I guess.
We have to be really careful. And I agree with that 100%. I'm not a huge fan of antibacterial everything all the time. I'm a soap person. I like soap because I believe.
I think she froze.
Oh, well, I'm just going to keep talking.
Oh, okay. I can't hear her.
Okay. So it's okay. It's okay. I'm just going to keep talking. So we need to have some bacteria in our lives in order to maintain, our immunities to things as well. And so, Laura, I'm not sure if you can hear me yet, but
I can. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I know that you're working on a new project. Is that right? So why don't you tell us about the project that you're working on?
Okay. Well, let me preface it with I'm executive producer of a show called Long Beach Life. I started in 2012 because I felt like our city needed something. Our city needed, like an Eye on LA has that. Why not have an Eye on Long Beach? So I started Long Beach Life. And I started covering little things here or there. And now it's a full-blown show on YouTube. It's under Long Beach Life Radio TV. And so as I was thinking about the shows that I wanted, because I filmed so much that my editor and we talked and we're like, hey, why not just have mini shorts coming out here and there, which is awesome. But then I thought, hey, why not? Because I'm also a documentary filmmaker. So I'm like, why not ask people what their stories are? Why not have them talk about not just the stories about COVID, but the stories during COVID? As we first started discussing this conversation at the start of the conversation about how people are out on the streets right now, protesting what's going on in community of colors and COVID, people passing away. Again, how you even have to go to the store and how and the space launch, right? That was a pretty exciting thing. So what I'm trying to ask the community, and it could be any community, even though it's under Long Beach Life, upload your stories, upload, your audio files, your diary, pages of your diary, whatever you feel like uploading, just to talk about how you, your family, and your friends have been doing during this time. What are your tips and tricks of, how you've been coping, and have you been out there on the streets? What are you doing in order to be home but still want people aware of what's going on with Black Lives Matter and things of that sort? So my editor and I talked about it. We did start it last week. We haven't had as many entries as we'd like. So I really appreciate you, Heather, inviting me on here. I know that people are really busy. They're going back to work now and things of that sort. They're out on the streets, protesting. But I think it's a great time now just to talk about what you're doing, what's going on. And maybe you could communicate with that communication can bring the communities together, because sometimes I can tell a story and then I feel like maybe someone's not connecting with me, but then someone hears my story and they end up connecting with me. That's why I love documentaries so much. And so that's what the project is. So it's called Stories During COVID. And please, if you're going to upload, I did share the bit.ly with you guys, but you could also upload to Long Beach Life Radio TV at gmail.com. And it's pretty easy. And we're gonna, my bad. And we're gonna go through the entries as we get them, and then we're gonna start choosing what we feel would be the best. But here's the thing, it may be turned into a documentary film as well. So that's why when people do upload, we do ask permission to use their likeness in other projects that are connected with Long Beach Life.
Awesome.
Oh, shoot, Laura, should we be asking permission for all of our guests?
We haven't done that.
You know what? That if you upload,
Laura, we need some training.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to use, only if you want to use it, you know, for monetary gain, you know, and I love it. And again, I really appreciate both of you having me to be able to talk about it. So, I mean, I hope to hear some of your stories. I hope that you guys upload some of your stories. I'd be excited to hear. Yay, Damon! Damon's going to participate. Woohoo! Love you, Damon.
What a cool
I've had some interesting stories I posted this week that my grandson, my son, and you know my grandbaby mama is what I call her. You know, they're not getting along, and my grandson was with her as this struck, and so like 2 weeks before that, so he was basically, my son would stay with us with his grandson the 3 to 4 days a week that he had him. So he basically lived with us for 3 to 4 days a week for the last year and a half. Wow. And so because she's whatever, you know, they can't get along. I'd say it's one-sided, but you know, nothing's one-sided. But we have only been able to speak to him twice in 3 months. So it's not just like the physical, not seeing him as hard enough, but like this is one of those things, like there are a lot of broken homes. I say that because, you know, it's what people say, but let's say divided homes where custody is shared, and it's really difficult for those families because parental alienation is not okay.
No, it's not. It's not. And again, there's so many stories like that of people, you know, that have to be contained in these homes. Sometimes, I mean, I know this is a different story that I'm talking about, but how women are being abused at such a higher rate. Children that, you know, get their meals from schools aren't getting those proper meals because of that. I mean, and again, Heather, I'm so sorry to hear that. I know that, you know, you're such a loving person, and I hope that definitely things change, but it's something like that. It's stories like that I feel will reach other people, and, you know, hopefully that will bring communities together.
Yeah, I think because the more that people hear the stories,
you guys froze. I can't hear you, but I guess I'll continue to talk.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so
go right
hopefully
ahead.
we can, you know, we can get more entries, and don't be afraid. You know, to talk about things. You don't have to go into super detail. Even if you write an email, go ahead and upload it, and we can totally narrate it ourselves. Again, this is just a way to bring communities together. So so Keri, you know, what's maybe one story that you have? I mean, you talked about how you were a business owner, right? And you're changing things up. That's a story. I mean, there's so many business owners that need to know, hey, it's okay. How are you pivoting?
Yeah, so we've definitely pivoted just by moving back home, which is where we started our business. But so for us, it wasn't as impactful as, you know, it has been for other people. I will say this though, on a personal note, again, just kind of circling back to what's happening today in my family and dealing with my mother-in-law and her situation. She's not in the hospital for COVID and she's not being treated for COVID, but because of COVID, we have had limited access to her. And so she is on a dementia journey, and we are trying to assist her down that path. And we didn't see her for a long time. And because of that, we weren't aware of some of the progression that she went through. And that was directly because, you know, you can't visit your family in the hospital because of COVID, which it's horrifying. And, you know, it really makes it so challenging to be an advocate for someone that you love that's going through a situation where they can't stand up for themselves. You know, you're talking about like, domestic violence situations and children and families that are living in poverty and those types of situations. And again, you know, this is an elderly woman who we love and adore, and we had to take her to the hospital, and for 7 days we couldn't see her. And so she then was in this place where she didn't know why she was there. She didn't know any of the people that were taking care of her. And of course the staff is amazing. You know, nurses and doctors are stretched super thin, and they're doing the best they can to make adjustments for families. and for patients who can't be seen. But it's heartbreaking. And that is, it's super hard to navigate that and to get through it. And, I hope that people understand that, staying home, a lot of people have the luxury of staying home in a nice place, without any challenges, but not everyone has that. Right. Like, and I do too. I do too. We don't have children, so I'm not like a homeschooler now. I didn't have to pivot my life. Heather didn't have to do that either, but there's plenty of moms who are stay-at-home moms who are not stay-at-home moms, who are working professional women who are now working at home and homeschooling their children and just praying that the school system will open again so that their children can go back to learning from trained professionals,
Well, and because we have Damon Lawrence watching, I just want to say, what about food deserts? Food deserts are a harsh reality in impoverished neighborhoods where they already struggle to get fresh, healthy, even whatever kind of food, packaged food too. They can't live on, you could live off of 7-Eleven. Actually, 7-Eleven is where I went back during the grocery strikes because I would not cross that picket line. And I was like, they have milk at 7-Eleven. They got yogurt at 7-Eleven. They have bananas.
Bananas, yes.
I can do this for a little while.
Apples.
Cheese. They have cheese sticks, They
have wine,
They have wine.
No, I definitely hear what you're saying. And, I do plan on getting with Lawrence and doing a segment on my show about the Long Beach, grocery cooperative that, he's been doing. I just want to give a shout out to Jill Nunez. She actually was one of the first people to upload, her COVID story. So I'm, really excited. I saw it. I'm just getting ready for all these stories because some are really emotional. A few have been really emotional and it tears you down. But you have to think, okay, how can I tell this person's story that will make it so that they're being heard? Because as a documentary filmmaker and executive producer, whenever you're telling a person's story, it's your responsibility to make sure that you're getting it right, and B, that you're doing it in such a way that the person you will convey the person's thoughts and feelings, the way they wanted you to.
Okay, girl, I'm totally switching this up because this is not your only project. You've worked on other projects. You've filmed a lot of Long Beach events.
Yes. Yeah.
What is the most insane, ridiculous thing that's ever happened while you've been recording?
Holy wow. Well, I had a camera person walk out on me because because he wanted a party at the Grand Prix of Long Beach. So
don't we all? Come on.
I had another person. So I was covering the NBA All-Star weekend, not this past one, but the one prior. And because it was just a whole thing of me being able to communicate and, just hang out with other media outlets. I had gold. I interviewed, Robert Ory, who's one of, my ultimate Lakers. I interviewed David Stern, who was the commissioner. And so because I wouldn't take this guy home because I already made plans, because first of all, I take care of my people. If you need something, I'll be there for you. If you need food or ride, let me know. But then when we talk about it, and then the night before you say, oh, I don't need a ride, I'm good. Then I make plans with media outlets. That's great networking, right?
Yes.
He decided to go. I was leaving and he had the camera. I should have known he was going to do something. I had a feeling. He took out the DVD, the mini DVD, or the mini DV, and he held it for hostage.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
What was the bounty? What do you have to give him?
Right.
Oh, a ride home. So I had to cancel my plans, and you know what? Look, I'm not a vindictive person. I'm really not. But you don't do that to someone who you got to pass to the NBA All-Star weekend. What the? frick,
Girl,
you know
yeah,
what I
I'll give
mean?
you a
Like,
ride
how
home
could you
to the
not even be
Kern.
grateful? You could put it on your reel and all that good stuff. So I said, okay, I'm gonna take you home. Give me the mini DV, and we stopped like 5 minutes out of downtown LA, and to get gas. And I said, pay for the gas. He's like, you're gonna leave me? I said, no, I'm not. He paid for the gas. I was gone. I'm like, peace out. I mean, how dare you? How dare you? And that, you know what's really hard in this industry is, first of all, you're a woman, then you're a woman of color. So you just keep going down, the totem pole. And for me, I'm just like, I will pay you. I'll pay you a certain amount, even if it comes out of my pocket right now. Just so that I can get people who are going to be there. And I mean, I've been very, very lucky. For many years, I didn't have any money to give anyone, and I would have some amazing people, and then I'd have these people, and being a woman, as an executive producer, as a director, what have you, the higher the title you go, the less they want to listen to you. And that goes through all, that transcends all professions, I believe. But especially this profession.
And it's
so it's pretty interesting. I mean, Heather, I'm sure you could talk about how you're in charge of Made, and maybe sometimes you don't get that respect, right? Or if not, you're lucky.
It's just a fickle thing. It's a fickle thing, and I understand. Look, I ain't perfect, and I may not be. I think most people give a lot of respect and give a lot of love. Like, I really have not had too many people. Mostly, if people challenge me or us at Made or Eleanor at all, it's about our mission statement.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's like, well, we created this mission, so really, it's up to us. I mean. You can try to take me to task on that this book wasn't printed in Long Beach, but, I'm here to say, well, you can buy this book here. You can buy it at Barnes & Noble, or not Barnes & Noble. Yeah, Barnes & Noble. Mm-hmm. It's Borders. It's closed. That's how we support local economy. And, but
yeah,
the hardest time
is Keri, how do you feel about being a business owner? How do you, and also being a female, how do you think that has affected you in any way, or maybe you have a story to tell?
I'll tell you what, I love being a business owner, and I also love being a female, and I love being a loud, obnoxious female. And that's right. Look, yeah. So luckily for me, in my experience, I have not had too much mansplaining done to me. But I can tell you, I can tell you that I know stories of very dear friends of mine who are also women business owners who get mansplained a lot, and it's bullshit. And most of my girls don't fucking tolerate that at all. And it's happened, and it typically happens from older white men who feel like, oh, sweetheart, it's a lot of that. Oh, sweetie, let me just tell you. And at this point, I think most of us women are not interested in old white men telling us what's what, especially about our business. And we really we've had to learn to find our voice to say more than just no, but we've had to learn to say, oh, no, thank you. No, like a hard no, like a sit down. Hey, Steve, sit down. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just choosing Steve as a random name because I like that name, for old white men, because that's be appropriate. Sorry, no offense to cool Steves out there, but I'm just saying. And so I think that as a women business owner, that's a lot of what we have to navigate is old white men telling us how to run our business, how to make good choices, how to look at the bottom line appropriately. And basically what we get to say to them is, fuck off. Like, I got spreadsheets, I got people, I know how to hire professionals, and I don't need you. And I didn't ask you for this. And don't fucking tell me to smile.
Oh my God.
Go, Heather. Heather.
Yeah. But you have such a pretty smile. Yeah. Like, are you not happy today? Like, are you? Do you have to smile all the time? I mean,
Right.
Well, because ultimately they're telling you, and I've had this flatly explained to me, you're a lot prettier when you smile. Well, you know what? I don't fucking feel like smiling right now. I'm having a shitty day or whatever. I'm actually, most of the time, it's just that I'm concentrating. I'm in the middle of thinking, and I'm not here to just be pretty for you.
I'm pretty no matter what.
There you go.
Well,
I'm pretty fucking rad.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Well, like I'm saying, especially in the entertainment industry, it's so hard, so extremely hard to be, again, taken seriously, not only being a woman, but a minority of the minorities. And, I'm trying to start this project. I mean, when I started Long Beach Life, it was just an idea. I had, I went to school to be a sports journalist. I loved Hannah Storm. She was just, my idol. Because she broke through so many barriers, and I used to write for the Orange County Register, their Friday night lights, and also about 6 of their weekly papers. I did that. My first internship was as a sports analyst with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I was there, talking to these people who were my idol. It was just so amazing. But let me tell you, I had so much Me Too that I was up to here with it. And actually, there were 2 instances where I was able to talk to those fellas about what they did. And that's very, very rare. Wow. Where you're able to talk to these people that have actually done that. And they both denied it. They're like, oh, well, I didn't know. Here's the thing. No matter which medium you're in, it's always going to be a small circle. So you never know who knows someone. So just shut the fuck up. Right. and I was told,
and keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself.
I don't want to kiss you.
Yes.
I don't
rub my shoulders. I don't need
I don't need a massage. Do I look like, oh, you look tense.
Back off, Steve. Mm-hmm. Don't touch my fucking shoulders. Yeah.
And now it's just like you have that excuse 6 feet apart. Okay. I mean, there shouldn't be an excuse, but now we have one, right? No. And it's just, so, getting back, I wanted to start the project Long Beach Life just so that people can know what's going on. And I'm really happy now there's Long Beach Local News. There's a few other things, but hey, I started it. And right. I'm excited, and I'm going to continue. If not with this with this project and so much more. If people want to follow me, I think Heather put it up on the lower third. It's Long Beach Life Radio TV. That's for all basically the outlets, for Twitter, for Facebook, for Instagram, and on my Instagram is very different from Facebook or even when I do live feed, because I have, if you join my Instagram, there's a little more that like I put up announcements and things of that sort, because a lot of people don't know. I mean, that's also another reason why I started it, because there's so much in this beautiful, awesome city to do. Sometimes a little too much, right? Like sometimes you have 4 or 5 events at one time.
Yes.
But I had to go through, I had to investigate myself.
You're not all Richard to.
Yeah.
Like Richard and be in 9 places at the same time. Yeah. So.
Exactly. So I just wanted to have a place where people can see, what's in their backyard. And I mean, I moved here in 2007, and this is actually the longest place I've ever stayed.
Nice.
Awesome. Laura, thanks for joining us. We'll post all the links.
I found a lot of amazing people.
Very cool. The Wonder Women.
Wonder Woman. Yes. Wonder Woman. I know it's coming out soon. It was supposed to come out in June, but It's coming out, I think, in August now.
I think so. Yeah, Wonder Woman 1994. Plugging a movie I have no affiliation to, but I do love.
So maybe we all grab a group of Wonder Woman and head out, right? If it's safe.
Hey, Laura, we're going to make sure to post all of your links, in our show notes. And it's been such a great pleasure to chat with you and to learn about, all the different projects that you are currently working on, and then the background that you have. I mean, way to get into the sports world. I like sports. So I'm super stoked to have, women interviewing these sports guys, and sports women as well. So I'm super excited to have this chance to chat with you. Hey, Heather, thanks for hooking me up with more cool people. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Laura. We're going to say goodbye to you, and then we'll post all the links, and we'll put them on, and then I'll send you the video, and we're definitely going to have you back.
For sure.
Oh, I'd love it. Thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate it. You know, we're all Wonder Woman here, and, you know, I feel that we need to bring each other up. So thank you for having me. I'll definitely be back, and I will be looking forward to your stories, okay? So
Okay,
don't forget.
you got it.
Sounds good.
Ciao for now.
Okay, bye. Oh, that is awesome, dude. Laura, she's killing it. I felt like we could have talked to her for an hour. She's got so many projects and, you know, so much going on.
And she's filmed at so many events that we've all been to or want to go to, like concerts and festivals. And I mean, how fun is that?
That is so cool. Yeah. I mean, jealous.
And now she's changing, you know, the direction because, well, you can't go to a festival or sporting event right now. This is Long Beach life right now, you know.
Right. For sure. Long Beach life sure has changed.
Dan asked us a really funny question. He said, how about the phrase, look, babe? And Dan, what is look, babe? This is not 1978. Who says look, babe?
Don't even, no, I mean,
look,
don't even start with that. Look, babe. I mean, if somebody, sorry, Dan, that's like a straight drunk guy in a bar. Look, babe, let me tell you something.
You're my God. I have a great story. One time I was at the Prospector, and I was told when I was a kid, people often, a lot of kids on the playground asked me if I was part Chinese. I have very little eyes.
Okay. Lovely. Look at that. Okay.
And so one time I was drinking at the Prospector back before there were bands, and it was a piano bar, and there was the guy, I think Leonard, that wore a leather vest.
Oh my gosh.
This guy came up to me and he was drunk and he's all, "Are you part Oriental?"
Shut up. How do people even say that? I mean,
and then when I was waiting tables, I love this one. I mean, it's horrible, but I love it so much because I love a good pun.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at Phil Trainee's Long Beach establishment, and this guy stopped me and he felt my skirt and he said, "What kind of fabric is this?" And I was like, "I don't know, cotton or something." He goes, "Well, it's felt now."
Wah, wah. That's awesome. I love that you laugh when you tell that story. That's
my God.
Beautiful. I love it.
So stupid.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he didn't grab my ass or anything. He was literally just.
You weren't felt up. You were just felt. Got it. Your skirt was felt. Yeah. Alicia. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
you know, sometimes when the old guys are giving you good tips and they don't actually touch you, you're like, well, whatever. It's just a fucking joke.
Well, I think that somebody
also,
called
I was
me.
In my 20s.
What's that?
I was in my 20s, so it's not, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Dan said that we were talking about mansplaining, and he's heard that before, and it put me off. Okay. Yeah, totally. Because it's awful. Nobody should say that. Nobody should say, "Look, babe," when they're going to try and explain something to you. I did have an older gentleman call me darling the other day.
Darling?
Yeah. And I was actually endeared by it. And so, yeah. And I usually I don't like being called sweetie. So I'm sure everyone that sees me on the street is now going to call me sweetie just because I said I don't like it. But I feel like it's a condescending kind of a phrase. Hey, sweetie.
Well, I think it's like sometimes you meet some people, you come across some people who you feel like they say this word to every single person.
Yeah.
Men or women or whatever. They're just like have that, you know, that small town thing where they just like whatever you call like babe or hun or
right.
I don't know what that is, the descriptive word is, but you know, like people that use those, it seems kind of like a small town diner thing to me. And I think that's pretty,
Leslie, yeah.
Like in the right context, I like it. Like if I was in a small town and the waitress or someone working there, a regular said like, "Hey sweetie, you know, can I get you another cup of coffee?" I'd be like, "Oh my God, it's like I live here."
Yeah, and I get that, and I do believe it's all about the context for sure. And this gentleman,
but in Home Depot, when you're looking, when you ask, "Hey, where's the drills?" and they go, "Look, babe, if you want the right drill, let me show you which one you want."
Let me show you the drill you're looking for.
I got it. I just need to know what aisle it's on. Okay.
No, thanks, Steve. Oh my gosh. This has been another lovely chat with you, Heather. I can't believe that an hour's already gone by. Can you believe that?
Are we ending?
I mean, we don't have to. We can sit here and chat all night long. You know, we can, but I don't.
Well, I mean, I know.
Yeah, but I will say this. Hey, friends, thanks for joining us. And
thank you.
You can find us here every Wednesday night at 5:30 on Facebook Live, and soon to be on YouTube. Well.
starting next week, we'll be simultaneously live on YouTube and on Facebook, so we can receive comments from both places. And if you just don't want to be on Facebook, then you can watch YouTube, and hopefully we'll start to reach people who are just not even using Facebook. Because look, Facebook is not not everyone loves Facebook.
What? Oh yeah, no, I've heard that. Yeah, it's a thing. Hashtag delete Facebook, or hashtag fire Facebook, or hashtag whatever. I don't even know.
I can't do it. Like, I feel like I have my son has his career. I had like my home, my previous home, my job, my living. I feel like everything came from social media, and particularly Facebook. So it's like really hard for me to feel anything. Plus, you get what you pay for, and I ain't paying shit.
Same. Yeah.
I mean,
we're like the target demographic for Facebook, aren't we?
And how do you reach people like business wise if you're not on Facebook / social media? Because you're going to pay an exorbitant amount of print ads, and people aren't picking those up. It's just a real weird space to be in.
It's a conundrum, Heather.
That's why videos
for sure. Yeah. And newsletters, you can sign up for my newsletter at ekpcreations.com, where you can get all the latest info on new candle scents coming for the summer. Candles.
And you can shop at madebymillworks.com. And I don't have an opening date yet, but look, we're taking our time. We don't want it to be something that you rush into. We want it to be awesome, and we want to be pioneers in this new COVID world. So
yeah, pioneer.
We're going to do something a little different. We'll see.
In the meantime, you can still support local businesses.
You can still shop. We're still processing orders and all that.
Madebymillworks.com. Support local.
All right.
Heather.
All right. Also, next week, we're going to start having guest bartenders. They're going to come on in the beginning. They're going to give a drink demonstration or a drink. They're either going to make us a drink and you can make it at home. We'll post the recipe, or they're going to talk about a beer or talk about a cider or something that we can all enjoy and find. And that'll be like another fun guest that we can have in a new segment.
Yay! So if you are a bartender and you would like to be featured on our fun little show, Meet Us for a Drink, then drop us a line and let us know. We'd love to hook up with you.
Or if you just make good drinks, and you have something you want to promote, you can come on, make a drink for us, and promote what you do. I mean, we'd love to have that. And if you're interested in being a guest, or if you know someone that you think would be a good guest for us, please let us know. I think right now everyone watching is someone that we personally know, so you know how to find us. But one of these days, guys, when we're giants,
yes,
you will talk to my assistant.
You can scroll back and watch all these stories from the beginning. You can listen to all of these great conversations from the very beginning. We are on episode 9 tonight, so pretty soon awesome. we're gonna be in syndication any minute now. So
yeah. All right. Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Leslie. Good to see you, girl.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you, next week.
Thanks, Alicia. We love you, girl. We'll see you next week, Wednesday night, 5:30 p.m. live. Cheers.
Cheers.